To Java tutorials. In this video, we'll be studying about dynamic input. So basically, dynamic inputs are used when the program is made more interactive, that is, taking some input from the user, processing it, and then displaying the output. So yeah, this video is going to be a little long, so bear with me. Hopefully, I don't bore you all. So yeah, let's start. There are 5 ways in which you can use dynamic inputs in Java. You can pause this video and note them down. They are through the command line using the scanner class, then the buffer reader class, the console class, and the data input stream class. So, okay, first let's do one example of command line. To use this, what happens in command line is that you can see over here the string array that the main accepts. These arguments are provided from the command line. If you're still using the Sublime Text or any other text editor and command prompt or terminal or whatever, you can I'll show it to you. While executing the Java file after compilation, you can write Java, the class name, and normally what we have done so far is that we type this and the execution starts. Over here, if you want to pass any arguments from the command line, after the class name, you have to pass, say, this is a string argument 1. You can also pass numbers, but anyways, they will be taken as strings. So what I want to do basically over here is that I want to print those arguments that I take from the command prompt. Now, since I'm using this IDE, this is IntelliJ platform, I cannot use the command prompt to execute these Java files. So for IntelliJ IDEA Java platform, there is a shortcut that is Shift Alt F10. What it does is that it opens a command type window where you can edit configurations. Something like this. You go to edit configurations and then before running, you pass your arguments over here. Say I want to pass 2 arguments, that is, say hello argument 1 or whatever argument 2. Then okay, I have to in the system.out.println I have to show them first. Say arg0, this will print the first argument, and then a tab, and then the next argument. Sorry, yeah, so just a minute. Edit configuration, argument 1, hello. You can check over here. These are the 2 arguments I passed, that is argument 1 and hello. It printed them. Simple enough. Now this is not a very useful method, like it's not practically very useful, since the normal users, the day-to-day users, won't be using command prompt to give their inputs to your application, right? So basically what we do, there are other 4 methods that are present over here: the scanner, buffer reader, console, and data input stream. These are other few options. Let's focus on scanner right now. This is a structure that you need to understand when using scanner, and mind you, scanner is very like lot of people use scanner for simple applications to take input from the user. This is a very common one, so you need to understand this. What happens is that to take input from the user, you need methods like next, next end, next double, next float, next line. There are some of these non-static methods. Using them, you can take the user inputs. I'll be showing them in the code, but we need to understand this structure first. So these are the non-static methods, and as I have said in the methods tutorial, that non-static methods can be accessed through object only. So we have to create a scanner object. Now, as of now, we haven't studied constructors, but just remember this. This is a syntax to create a constructor. I'll be discussing how to do a constructor, what are the different types of constructors in further videos. But for the time being, this is a syntax to create a constructor, that is new and then the class name. So the next in methods can be accessed from the scanner object that is created by the constructor. Now this is object takes certain arguments, that is system.in. Now system.in is basically a parameter passed in the constructor. What it does is that it contains the in is a object of input stream class, and in that object of input stream class can be accessed by system class. Now there's a very common doubt that people might come up with, is that if in is an object of input stream class, why cannot I call it via the constructor? Like I wanted to create access the scanner object, I use the constructor for it. Now the problem with this is that input stream class, the constructor, it's an abstract class. Abstract class prevent creating objects of that class. This input stream class over here is an abstract class, so I cannot directly create its object. However, there is a object of that class which is which is made by Java and is available already inside the system class. So I can access it through the system class. Now the scanner entire class is present inside java.util package. So if you have to use it, you have to import the package. Now let's go into the code. I know it's very tough maybe for new beginners, but once you get a hang of it, it becomes really easy. So I have imported the util package. The star means all classes present inside util package. Now the scanner class is available. I'll create an object of scanner class. Let's say I call it SC. Then this is the constructor. Then the arguments that it needs. Now this is I have made a my scanner object is now ready. So how do I take an input? Let's say I want the user to enter his name. Cool. So what I do now is I have to take a string name where I'll be storing the name. I have to call the the next method, or preferably next line. What it does is that it reads the input from the user and returns a string. There are different methods as you can see over here. Next, next int will return an integer, next double will return a double. Anyways, the anything is interconvertible, as I've shown in the type conversion video. So let's say I'll be taking a string over here. Now I'll print the output back. Here I do not need any arguments from the command line, so I can directly run it. I can do this. I'll remove these arguments, not required anymore. It's waiting for my input right now here. Enter your name. Let's say I'm writing Java developer. It's not my name obviously, but anyways. So it's printing me hello Java developer. Works fine. So this is one method of doing it, that is using the scanner class.